Hello fellow traders, this is Paul Lemmel. Got another stock here. This is another insurance stock, and kind of surprising that the decent looking momentum charts the last couple months were from some strange sectors, and the insurance sector, even a few banking stocks. Definitely not many of the technology stocks. They got hammered pretty much after the first of the year. But this one's got a pretty good chart, got some good cycle squeezes setting up on it. I'll break it down in a minute. Also, just keep in mind that we're not in a great market condition for the bulls right now. It's an E- market. It's a B5 rating. You'll find out more about how we get to that at bigownertradingclub.club/market-rating, market-rating. But first, before we dive in, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. It really helps us reach more traders like you and keeps you updated on our latest trading. Also, we're looking for talent, maybe someone who's not locked into their own way of trading and is open to exploring a new outside-the-box form of cycle-based trading, which we use to swing trade equities and day trade indexes, SPY, QQQ, and futures. If you have any interest in that, DM me through our social media or email me at paul@bigownertradingclub.com and I'll give you more information. You can see that you got a pretty good cup consolidation despite that big breakout coming off of the 2022 lows, 9 BMI, vector of 1, huge run up, and despite that run up, it had it held above the $10 PPP support, 1250. It broke out of briefly, came back in and retested. So what was good about this cup? And we break down the cycles first. The first one is a TD6 1-month cycle. TM-2, that's a 3.5 month cycle, and then the TM-3, it's a 5 to 7 month cycle. It's right below, I think it's right at 4.9 months on this consolidation. But that is a TM-3 cycle, and so you can look right here. You got the first cycle lows, you had the lowest lows of the cup. Second cycle low held above the first cycle low, so there's already a price squeeze coming in there. And then you look at the TM-3 cycle lows, even these two-way pullbacks held above the TM2 cycle lows. So you got a price squeeze from here to here. You got another cycle-based price squeeze here to here. And this final confirmation here, it tried to dip below, took out some stops, and that's called an ant stick. You can find that on our lingo page. But basically, you could have, once you saw that, you could either bought the close of that bar or break out above the bar. But that's a pretty good confirmation, final confirmation of support on the pullback of that TM3. But price squeezes throughout that consolidation. I'll take a look at the big picture here in a second. If you're unfamiliar with any of the trading terms I'm using, you can find our club lingo at bigownertradingclub.club/lingo. Okay, looking at the big picture here, let's go to the weekly chart. You can see we're almost out of that 2018 highs. Blue sky is above about the $28 mark. It's a pretty deep cup, so I would not be surprised if it extended consolidation once it gets around that new high right there. Potentially a couple months PBC zone up out of here around the 28 plus mark. But it's got a little bit of a run to get there. By the time it gets to even $24, you're at 200%. So there'd be a lot of reason to, have a consolidation pullback to digest those gains. I wouldn't think that it's just going to run through that $28 mark and just keep on going. There should be a pause, either pre-breakout, a handle, or post-breakout with a PBC zone, post-breakout consolidation zone. So just be aware of that. Again, you can get stuck in a couple months consolidation thinking it's done, and then it does its final retest of support like it did here and takes off. So be aware of that. Anytime you got a couple 100% gain out of a consolidation zone, usually needs to pause and digest those gains. So this one, probably stock rating on this probably going to be about 77 to 80, somewhere in there. HRTG, Heritage Insurance Holdings Inc. If you're interested in our trading style, want to join the club or get one-on-one coaching, head over to cycletradingtraining.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.